artifact too. Last time we found the MSV Corsica, the merchant freighter that suddenly crashed into a planet. And it was apparently carrying 181 mechs. That came from Han Kadar facilities, but also reflective mech armor that came from something called Jarahi Station, if I recall correctly. So let's see if we can find some more leads into that and see if we can figure out what really happened there. Also, last time we managed to afford buying the thermal regenerator for ourselves. So let's see if we can apply it right now. So this might also be a ship episode, given that there's a lot of people to talk to now, since Samara also needs to talk about her loyalty mission, apparently. But first, I'm going the wrong way, but second, thermal regenerator. It's right here. Cosmetic surgery equipment, heals scars. If we look at Shepard, there are some scars. Not that many since we are pretty high on Paragon, but still there are some. So let's use this tool to heal them, I suppose. Permanently heal facial scarring and remove all evidence of cybernetic implants. Yes. And there we go. No more scars. We're still Mecha Frieza, or something like that, but at least we don't outwardly look like a mecha. Now, the sad part is that in vanilla, this only applies to Shepard. You cannot use the thermal regenerator for anyone else, and if you recall, Garrus had also quite a lot of scars because of the gunship in Omega. You cannot have Garrus use that in vanilla. However, here comes the mod of the week. There is something called Jean-Luc's Texture Collection, where Jean-Luc made a bunch of textures, and they do stray from vanilla quite a bit, so they're not by default in a lot. However, one of them is the Garrus Scar Fix, which fixes Garrus's scars. Not like completely, because you would need to remove and replace the mesh that Garrus has, but it fixes it up quite nicely in comparison.
Shepard, need me for something?
So like the white plaster is still there, but at least outwardly there's no big evidence of scars anymore, which is excellent. Also, we have great weapons, so how are the weapons going?
What can you tell me about the Normandy's armaments?
The weapons upgrades have gone in beautifully. This thing packs a hell of a punch. It just might give us a chance against the Collectors.
Alright. Also you're teleporting.
Have you got any upgrade ideas for the Normandy's weapon systems?
My current upgrades are working pretty well. That's about the best I can do.
Alright. And there's no Cerberus crew, so asking this would be pointless.
Have you got a minute?
Sure, just killing time anyway. I wanted to thank you again for your help with Sidonis. Whatever happens with the Collectors or the Reapers or whoever else comes after us, I know you'll get the job done.
You actually think we'll find something worse than Collectors or Reapers?
I like to expect the worst. There's a small chance I'll be pleasantly surprised.
Yeah, it's a bit difficult to find something more difficult to deal with than the Reapers. But indeed, as we know, we will be fighting Reapers. So...
I couldn't do this without you, Garrus.
Sure you could. Not as stylishly, of course. It's strange going into a suicide mission on a human ship. Your people don't prepare for high-risk operations the way Turians do.
I thought you'd be used to high-risk operations on human ships. I mean, think about tracking Sarah to Ilos.
Sure, but that was quick. We raced out, landed, blew up some Geth, and saved the galaxy. This time we've got Miranda and Cerberus and that AI all telling us what we're up against. I think I preferred blind optimism.
Well, I guess that is true. Optimism was pretty good in the first game. So...
Honestly, Garrett, what do you think our chances are?
Honestly, the Collectors killed you once, and all they did is piss you off. I can't imagine they'll stop you this time. But an unmapped area, advanced technology, and the Collectors. We're going to lose people. No way around that. Not a happy analysis, I know. Don't worry. I won't spread it around. And I'm with you regardless.
Yep. So it's a suicide mission. Not quite as suicide as it sounds, but we might lose people. However, I'll try not to lose people. So, how did Turians prepare then?
How do Turian crews get ready for high-risk missions?
With violence, usually. Turian ships have more operational discipline than your alliance, but fewer personal restrictions. Our commanders run us tight, and they know we need to blow off steam. Turian ships have training rooms for exercise, combat sims, even full-contact sparring. Whatever lets people work off stress.
You mean Turian ships have crewmen fighting each other before a mission?
It's supervised, of course. Nobody's going to risk an injury that interferes with the mission, and it's a good way to settle grudges amicably. I remember right before one mission, we were about to hit a Batarian pirate squad. Very risky. This recon scout and I had been at each other's throats. Nerves, mostly. She suggested we settle it in the ring.
I assume you took her down gently?
Actually, she and I were the top-ranked hand-to-hand specialists on the ship. I had reach, but she had flexibility. It was brutal. After 9 rounds, the judge called it a draw. There were a lot of unhappy bettors in the training room. We ended up holding a tiebreaker in her quarters. I had reach, but she had flexibility. More than one way to work off stress, I
guess. All right.
Do you ever regret leaving CSEC or the Turian military?
Not for a minute. When it comes down to it, Shepard, I don't think I'm a very good Turian. When a good Turian hears a bad order, he follows it. He might complain, but he knows his place. I just don't see the point in staying quiet and polite. Not when the galaxy is at stake.
All right.
Thanks for the talk, Garrus. I'll see you later.
Sure thing.
He will probably be busy calibrating, though. So now we have only a few more people to talk to. Miranda, not much to talk
Commander,
about.
what can I do for you?
But we did get the scanners operational, and I cannot ask about that? Well, okay.
I'll let you work.
Of course, Commander.
Fine. So then, the next person to talk to would be... Thane.
Do you need something?
You mind if I ask you a few questions?
Not at all.
We need to have the best equipment possible to take on the Collectors. You have any leads I could chase down?
I've already upgraded the Normandy's exploration probes. I have no additional suggestions.
Alright.
There's something else I'd like to talk about.
Ask.
Have a few minutes to talk?
Of course, Shepard. Join me.
Still talking to Cole yet?
Yes. It's still difficult, but he seems less angry. Will you hear my confession, Shepard?
I wouldn't talk to you if I didn't want to hear what you have to say.
When I married Erica, the Hanar let me leave their service to raise a family, but I had no other skills, so I freelanced. When Erica was killed, I pursued those responsible. Once I'd eliminated them, I had no goal. I accepted the Dantius commission because I didn't know what else to do.
Was that so recent, or was he just doing so much freelancing ever since? Well...
Not the healthiest attitude to take on a mission.
You're right, it's not. Looking back now, it's clear I'd resigned myself to death. I would have fulfilled my contract. If Nasana's guards caught me afterwards, It would have been a good death. But someone else was pushing to reach the target, forcing me to move faster, challenging me. I had to reach her first.
You're alive because I wounded your pride?
Pride is the line between a professional and a thug. Your mission gave me purpose, a cause to die for, a chance to atone. I was able to speak to my son again. I can leave my body in peace.
You've had a hard life. You deserve some peace.
Whatever may happen, my gun is yours.
All right. And most importantly, I think that's the wrong alteration deck. This one. Samara.
I am glad you came. I must ask for your help. That is not easy for me.
I kind of wanted to talk about upgrades, but okay.
It's all right. Just tell me what you need.
When we met on Ilium, I told you about a very dangerous person I was pursuing. Using the information you obtained, I have located her. She's been going by the name Morinth. I would like to apprehend her before she disappears again.
The Ardatyaksi, indeed. So...
Didn't you say you'd pick up her trail after our mission?
I know where she is, right now. In a month, she may be gone. This is the best opportunity I've ever had.
Fair enough.
How important is this?
Killing her has been my focus for 400 years. It is the most important thing in my life, and the reason I became a Justicar.
Yeah, so that's quite important. Where do we go?
Where is she?
Omega, a nightclub called Afterlife, which seems a perfect place for her to hunt.
Omega. The place where we started off, and looks like the last place we'll be going. Quite interesting how that goes.
Tell me about her.
She is an Ardatyaksi. It is a term from a dead Asari dialect. It means demon of the night winds, but that is mythology. She is simply a very dangerous woman who kills without mercy.
So is an Ardatyaksi a special kind of murderer?
Morinth suffers a rare genetic disorder. When she mates with you, there is no gentle melding of nervous systems. She overpowers yours, burns it out, hemorrhages your brain. You end up a mindless shell, and soon after, you are dead.
Welp.
So you hunt down these Asari just because they're born with a genetic condition?
It manifests with maturity. When one is diagnosed, she is offered the chance to live in seclusion and comfort. If she refuses, it shows her addiction to the ecstasy she gets from killing her mates. There is no redemption for such a person.
So, in other words, it's a vampire.
They have to choose between prison and death?
It is an addictive condition. Remember how adaptive we are. If Morinth does not want to be cured, she won't be.
Can't she abstain?
Each encounter gives her strength. The effect is narcotic. The more she does it, the more she needs to do it. She will never stop. She can't.
Why isn't this ever mentioned in Asari literature or art?
When we were primitive, there was much fascination with Ardatyaksi. Some cultures worshipped them as gods of destruction. Now the Asari have a place in the galaxy, and they don't wish this defect to be widely known. As far as I know, only 3 exist today. 2 chose a life of seclusion. The 3rd ran.
Morinth.
She ran, and I am sworn to kill her.
3 in total. As far as she knows, though. That's an interesting point to keep in mind in Mass Effect 3.
I don't know that I blame her for running.
When she fled, she proved her addiction. She was not taking a great moral stand. She simply wants to keep killing. She is a tragic figure, but not a sympathetic one.
Okay, fair enough.
This is definitely worthy of your full attention.
She confuses her victims, twists their feelings. They will do anything for her favor.
We need to stop her.
Thank you, Commander. There are no words to express what this means to me. There is one thing more. This creature, this monster. She is my daughter.
Welp.
You said this is genetic. How many children do you have?
3. And 3 Ardat Yakshi are in existence today. It is as it sounds. Marinth was always the wild one. She was happy and free, but selfish.
I cannot imagine what this is like for you.
I do not want pity, Shepard. I do not accept it. My daughter's condition is my fault, and my redemption lies in killing her. Do not pity me. Simply understand my situation.
How did all this happen?
I spent my youth on the move, adventuring. I killed people, mated with them, or just danced the night away. I learned so much, experienced so much, and then my matron days came. I could finally sit back, bask and enjoy my family. But in one moment, it was all taken away.
It sounds terrible.
I sat in a med lab while a nearsighted doctor droned at me, and I learned that nothing was as I thought it would be. I gave up all that I possessed. I own nothing, claim nothing. All my knowledge will die with me. Now my purpose is to destroy my own children.
Those moments change you.
And I've hundreds of years left to live with that. I say too much. Forgive me. Help me find my long-lost daughter. And kill her.
We'll go find Morinth.
Alright, travel to Omega. Our last story mission. And we learn more about the Ardat Yakshi. So, let's do something. But not go to Omega yet. Even though Morinth might escape. No, not this. I want to change my gear. I want to put on the helmet again. And let's go back to exploring the galaxy. So now that we have no more research to do... Yes, we have no more research to do, right? Yeah, everything is there. I can stop using my probes altogether. So even though Anhur is also rich, I don't care because I don't need any more resources. The last planet here is Bast. A small hydrogen-nitrogen gas giant, Bast and its moon served as the Eclipse Mercenary Company's fallback position after their defeat on Nath. Once they had gathered their strength, they leaked a false position to the Nihilist Consortium to lure them into a trap, which devolved into a pitched battle. Both sides claimed victory. Nihilist lost more ships, but could afford the setback in a way Eclipse could not. That sounds a bit like what we've heard in Unreal 2, except that they didn't blow up the planet. Too bad for Eclipse, they would have won a lot more. That was a ghost planet, oh man. Another glitch in the game. So since I don't need to buy any more probes, let's just move on. And finish exploring the star cluster. Malgus. Uzin. Named for one of many Krogan gods of vengeance, Uzin is a gas giant close enough to its orange sun that none of its moons are considered habitable. Its composition is largely hydrogen and methane, with traces of xenon that the Krogan collect for use in ion drives. Uzin is well within the frost line, where gas giants usually do not form, leading astronomers to believe that its orbit used to be further from the star. If so, this would indicate a seriously unstable orbit, and the planet may plunge into the star within a few million years. It also seemed like something like a binary star system, with one star not finished developing. But if the orbit is as it is, then that's probably not the case. Rill. A planet only Vorcha could love, Rill is notable for its near-miss climate, punishing heat in a thin, toxic methane-ethane atmosphere. Its surface is dotted with Krogan and Vorcha habitats, eking out a meager living off the planet's tin and copper deposits, and killing anyone who cuts into their profits. Travel advisory: Krogan can survive in the heat with the use of a breath mask. All other species require environmental suits to avoid heat exhaustion and burns. Liquid water can be found in large lakes on the surface. This can be used for thermal regulation, but it is not potable without processing. Alliance Bulletin: large-scale gang warfare is a regular occurrence on Rill. Civilian travel is not advised. Temperature 56. That is pretty warm. And lastly, Flet. Uninhabitable by most species, Flet is home to the Bloodpack's Vorcha training and breeding grounds. The thick atmosphere is nearly all nitrogen and lacks oxygen, which poses no hazard to the Vorcha. Needing little but imports of food and water, Vorcha mercenaries and mercenaries-to-be train religiously to overpower and kill whoever the company is at war with this time. Travel advisory: Flet's spaceports are wholly owned subsidiaries of the Bloodpack Mercenary Company, a corporation undergoing numerous criminal investigations for capital crimes. Civilian traffic to Flet is strongly discouraged. Okay, so we went from a star system dominated by Hanar to a star system dominated by Krogan and Vorcha. Great. But nothing to do here. This is basically for mining because two of these planets are rich. However, we can see that there is something here. Center of the system, but also take a look at our journal. Because, in fact, we got... we didn't get anything. That's interesting. Another bug, perhaps? Because on the map, this shows up. This is Jarahi Station. So this is where the reflective mech armor came from. But it is also next to Antigar, chartered by a Solarian mining expedition that went off course due to computer error. Antigar is a hydrogen and helium gas giant with 11 known moons and dusty rings. So, quite an interesting star system. Just one planet, lots of asteroids, but also a station. Jarahi Station. Site intel retrieved. Location coordinates: Jarahi Station, Strabo System, Eagle Nebula. Data mining confirms the last reported location of merchant freighter MSV Corsica as the Jarahi Station in the Strabo System. Possibility exists that clues pertaining to the anomaly that caused the mass malfunction of the mechs aboard Corsica can be found aboard Jarahi Station. Alright, so let's investigate. Oh, this loading screen. Haven't seen that one before. This is basically docking with an external docking clamp. Who do I bring? Well, Legion is an obvious choice. And I guess we can bring Samara, since we haven't been on a mission with her yet. It also allows us to see what her powers are. Throw, pull, and in the future we'll also have Reeve. So let's unlock Paul. And then put a lot of points into Justicar. Right, more health, more weapon damage, and more power less power recharge time, rather. And we have the choice between Sapiens Justicar. Samara's biotic abilities now rival those of an Asari matriarch, further reducing the recharge time of her powers. Or Kado Justicar. Samara's time is spent honing her lethal skills, increasing her weapon damage. So it's either more damage or less power recharge time. She can take assault rifle, so I think weapon damage is not bad. Then for Reeve we need 3, 6, 10. So I can spend 5 squad points somewhere. So it's 1 at throw and 1 at pull. Might as well. And get the pulse rifle and Locust SMG. Sure. Escape Jerahi Station. We could just go through the door, you know? But okay, the game gave us the breather mess already. So, looks like this is abandoned. Also logged by Station VI. There's refined radium right there. And we can see the Normandy right here. This is where the merchant freighter came from. It doesn't look very nice. Dr. Galwind, at my suggestion, we have cut power to all systems, save critical life support, in hopes that disabling these systems will deny the VI the resources she needs to kill us. There's a temporary solution. We cannot last this out on our own. Dr. Taleson. A VI gone rogue? That's not good. We have dealt with one rogue AI in the first game, though. In fact, these are models from the first game. Welcome. Please proceed to processing. I guess I'll do that. Log by Station VI. Got iridium that is completely pointless right now. But I'll take it.
Docking area power restored. Intruders are requested to report to the cargo doors for immediate removal from station.
Rude. We're not intruders, we're investigators. I guess this still doesn't allow us to open that door, right? Yeah. Alright, let's go forward then. I guess this is an indicator of where we're supposed to be going.
Intruder detected. You are not authorized to be in this area.
We are authorized, because I'm a Spectre. Okay, all of these are just logged by the Station VI. Living quarters. Engineering. And research lab. Well, let's start with the living quarters, I suppose. Not sure what this is going to accomplish, but hey, there's the VI mainframe. No Paragate. Oh. Well, that's the mess hall. Looks pretty nice. Except for all those dead bodies. Attention, all docks personnel. We are expecting a shipment of mech parts from the Han Kadar facility on Quebec, Haskins Titan Nebula. Make sure the VI knows to accept a docking request from the freighter MSV Corsica, Kennings. Okay, so that's... mech parts from... So I guess it's got mech parts, transferred them here, and they constructed mechs out of them or something. Or maybe from the previous shipments of mech parts. Yeah, that is the mess I need. That's good to know. Logged by Station VI. There's a nutkit on an abandoned research station. I'm sure this information is very worthwhile. Ah, that's the medical bay. This is a puzzle.
Living area power restored. The living area doors have been closed to quarantine a threat to this station. Advise intruders to engage self-destruct procedures to avoid death by starvation.
Again, rude. So yes, we got locked in by the station's VI. However... can I read the PDA from here? Apparently so, if I go on the table. But here's the thing. We can see the outline of how this looks like. We want to go to the dorm, because that was closed before. We are in the medical bay, as it says. You are here.
2 doors enabled. All doors disabled. 2 doors enabled. 5 doors enabled.
I have no idea what I did, but I just pressed buttons. And it worked. It's a puzzle that you can brute force very easily. $525 credits. I guess they won't be using them anymore. And this just doesn't go anywhere. But nothing else of interest in here. So we're back to...
All intruders intentionally violating quarantine are requested to exit the station immediately.
No. But that will be all for now. And we'll finish exploring this place next time. However, there is still something in the secondary codex. Let's go through the ships and vehicles, because we still have something that we didn't cover before, and that is the Helios Thruster Module. Another one of the research options that we used. Intended for next-generation fightercraft, the Heat Industries Helios Thruster Module propulsion system far outpaces the typical liquid hydrogen-liquid oxygen reactions that power a frigate's maneuvering thrusters. By using metastable metallic hydrogen, the Helios boasts a fuel that burns at far greater efficiency than liquid hydrogen-oxygen. Navigators can execute the numerous small course corrections inherent to any long-distance travel without fear of exhausting the ship's fuel supplies. This net gain extends to forward impulse as well. A ship powered by antiprotons can coast temporarily, using the Helios to reach an inferior but highly sustainable speed. Such efficiency lowers antiproton consumption, a constant concern for any warship. When a Helios-propelled ship must refuel, however, it typically relies on a large carrier or nearby planetary factory to synthesize the metallic hydrogen. This process uses extremely dense mass effect fields to create the metal under pressures of over 1 million Earth atmospheres, an activity most safely done while planetside. While that process may seem like a drawback compared to skimmer ships that can gather hydrogen and oxygen from anywhere in the universe, the combat superiority of the Helios maneuvering capabilities is often a worthwhile trade-off. The same efficiency that allows for microburn course correction can power rapid bursts of motion. Once a pilot becomes used to the ship's new energetic responses, she can easily put the ship wherever and at whatever angle she desires. Alright, so that allows us to travel further with the same amount of fuel. Or how it's implemented in the game, it just allows you to buy more fuel and store it, which is not quite as exciting as it sounds. We'll cover the rest sometime later. If we survive Jarahi Station. So, see you then.
There have been 4 fatalities on this station in the last week. Remember, safety is everyone's responsibility.
I think there was more than 4. But see you all then, later.